Good evening. The sun has set and the Chicago nights come alive. It's time for mystery, intrigue, and just a bit of strangeness as Hexaco Motor Oils presents the Hexaco Mystery Radio Hour, sponsored by Hexaco. I'm Silver Sterling, and join me as we bring you tales from these dark streets and darker alleys in Gunn for Hire.
Telephones are funny things. It's the only device where you get all the benefits of your personal voice without having to look the other palook in the eye. In fact, you could be miles away. This is especially true when it comes to bad news. And both Grace Gunn and Irving Holt are going to have to deliver some tough news over the phone, now that they've found the bloody and frightening scene at the Blackstone. They found Leo Helzberg, or what's left of him, and now it's time to make a call. At least they won't have to look anyone in the face. And what about Tommy Bam Bam Prue? Well, sometimes it pays to have more brawn than brains between your ears.
My mother hates the fact that I work. She says to me all the time, "Doris, you don't need to work, bubby. Just find yourself a good man with a lot of cash." Of course, she always likes to forget that both of those are in short supply these days. And I'll tell you right now, mister, the jury's still out on you. Plus, I like my job. Mom might think I sit on my patoot all day, but being a phone operator is important work. I'm connecting phone calls for some important people. Not just your Rockefellers and Gettys, but people like the police, or the mayor, or even a doctor. Of course, even just your regular Joes are important. They got families and friends, and most fun of all, they got secrets. I like to consider that one of the perks of the job, being able to listen in now and again. Some of those Joes have a little Jane on the side. And the opposite is true too. I know plenty of high-rolling Janes who have a good friend they visit on the south side. Oh, I don't listen in all the time. I'm not some sort of snoop, you know. Sometimes you just need to listen a little while to make sure the connection goes through. Now, before you ask, I'm not going to tell you what I know about the ins and outs of Capone's outfit. You say you're a straight shooter, but you also work at the docks, and I know what goes on down there. Doris here is no snitch. That said, I told you I knew where the best speakeasies were. Plus, I know when the cops are probably going to show up for a raid, so we can get out in time. Thanks for the drink, by the way. There was one time, though. I was listening in, and I heard... Well, I don't know what I heard. At first, I thought it was just some creep breathing heavy, but then... It wasn't, you know? It wasn't so much breathing as it was... growling. And then I could hear some other voices in the background. They were chanting. Or something. Then I was pretty sure I heard some Joe. It sounded like he was crying. Or begging or something. I couldn't stop listening. I just froze there. The growling, the chanting, the crying. I was just about to grab Darlene next to me to have her listen. That's when I heard that voice. It was clear as day in my ear. It was a sharp whisper, and it said, "Doris, hang up the phone, now." The thing was, I never once said my name. I don't remember what happened after that. Darlene said I screamed and threw my headset on the floor. All I remember is getting to my apartment and noticing the scratches. They were all over my door. I didn't even go inside. Went and stayed with Darlene for 2 days. When I finally got the gumption and went back to my apartment, those scratches, they were gone. Anyway, enough about that, right? What do you say? Get a girl a refill?
So, Bam Bam, what kind of establishment is this bellyache?
Make me a common knowledge, Bam Bam, and I'll tell you all exactly what it is. Ooh, very, very nice, Bam Bam. All right, an 8. An 8 tells you quite a bit, actually. You know it's more of a traditional speakeasy. It's an underground club, and it's located near Marquette Park, underneath Vinny's Deli. And we'll say, because you got a success with the raise, that you have been there once before, but that was at least a year ago, if not. Well, actually, it probably would be longer because you were in prison.
So do you spell that like market, but you pronounce it all fancy?
It's Marquette with the French, yeah, with the QU.
Okay, cool. Well, Grace, they don't call it the bellyache for nothing. It's on the underside of a deli. And it's got enough booze in it that, well, your belly'll ache.
Interesting.
All the beauty of Satan before his fall.
Nice.
Now, my question in return, Grace, were we going to drop a dime to the cops, or were you going to drop a dime to your client?
I need to talk to my client first before this hits the papers, because it will hit the papers.
Irving is going to start using his knowledge of crime scenes that he's come across in his line of work, is going to try and hide our tracks and wanderings and things like that. Just in general, to erase our presence in the area.
Haven't we already left the room, though?
Well, technically, yes, but this would have been sort of a retcon sort of thing.
No, that's okay. I just was confused. I thought we were down on the street.
No, that's fine. Yeah, no, you're definitely having this conversation on the street, but yeah, this is a good retcon. Go ahead and make me. What do you have investigation by any chance?
Unfortunately, no. I took that out for knowledge photo.
All right, yeah, give me a common knowledge roll.
Okay. In this case, I will instead play extra effort, which just adds a d6 and which can ace to the roll.
Perfect. All right. So go ahead and give me that common knowledge roll, and then with that extra d6.
There we go. That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Wait, was that an added, or was that just a?
Yeah, so it would get added to it.
So it would be a 12.
12 total. All right. Yeah, before the three of you decide to make tracks out of there, Irving cases the joint and essentially resets everything to the best of your knowledge where it was, where it should be, and also took care to make artistic, in a certain sense, smears with the blood that was there, so you hid your footprints as best as possible. Of course, you had to take the rags with you, but it's a worthwhile sacrifice to essentially remove any trace that you were all ever there.
Well, it's the winter in Chicago, right? Surely there's some garbage can giving a fire that has fire in it that I can dump the rags into.
Oh yeah, as you're making tracks out of there and making your conversation, it's very easy for you just to walk by a trash can fire with a bunch of Hooverville residents or whatever just around the fire and plop that sucker in there. All right, nicely done. So yeah, getting back to Bam Bam's conversation about where a dime might get dropped.
Can we make our way back to my office, so I don't actually have to drop a dime. Or is it better expediency, more of a like the man said, I got rent due.
Is it on the way?
Yeah, from where you're at the Blackstone, it's probably a good, refreshing walk back to your office to get your heads clear. So absolutely, you've reconvened back at the office and just kind of making yourselves comfortable, hanging up your coats and plopping your feet up on a table as you sit back on a couch.
The brother's name was William, right?
Yes, William Helzberg.
Okay, I dial him up after a few minutes of gathering myself behind my desk, and yeah, give him a call.
Phone rings probably a good 6 or 7 times after the operator connects you, and he picks up the phone.
Willie Helzberg?
Mr. Helzberg, this is Grace Gunn. I have some news for you.
Miss Gunn, excellent. Great. You've located my brother.
After a fashion, yes, I did, yes.
What do you mean, after a fashion? Did you know where he is and you just haven't seen him? Or is there someplace... Do I need to go get him somewhere? Is he still in town? What is it?
He's still in town, but I would not recommend that you go get him. Fumbling around trying to find a delicate way of putting this.
Just give it to me straight, Miss Gunn.
Your brother is dead. Do you know why he would be at the Blackstone at all?
I'm sorry. Did you say he's dead?
Yes, I did. It's a heck of a thing to drop on you like that, and I do apologize, but... Where you said the Blackstone? Yes. Is that where the Blackstone, is that where you found him? Yes, it is. Do you know why he would be there? No, I can't have, I'm not sure. I mean... Did he have any occult connections that you know of? I'm sorry, did you say occult connections? You mean like the devil or something? Or what are you talking about? Something, I don't know exactly what. It was not pretty, shall we say, and leave it at that, because yeah, you don't need that image in your head. But it was very occultish, and I don't know if your brother had some enemies maybe that were involved with that, or if he was involved with it and something just went wrong. I really don't have any more details than that, other than to to let you know that he's gone.
First of all, before he responds, Grace, make me a notice check, and this is hearing based. So if you get any bonuses for hearing things, then you may add those. All right, you got a 3. Okay, and this is completely normal, by the way. But as you were talking to him, there's a little bits of static and crackling in the phone line, just because obviously it's still relatively new technology and how it works. But as you were going through your last bit of explaining to Willie about this, that you heard a little bit more static than usual during that thing. He says to you, I'm sorry, Miss Gunn. I'm trying
trying to get a handle on everything you just said to me, but...
It's a lot to process, sir. I'm sorry for dumping this on you like this.
No, I asked. I mean, I asked you to find him, and I did. You know, you always, in your head, you always, fear the worst when something unusual like that happens, and I guess even though I feared it, I didn't necessarily expect that it was going to happen in the case of my brother. What about Matilda? Have you told his wife yet?
No, not yet.
If it's all right with you, Miss Gunn, I best go and tell her. Have you called the authorities at all?
That was going to be my next call, but I wanted you to hear it first before any of it got out in the papers or radio or anything like that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, your candor and your discretion and all that. I'll take care of talking to Matilda. She deserves to hear it from a relative, and she was unaware that I had sought out your services to begin with. Do we know then, okay, do you know who might have done this? I mean, you say that there was something in there in regards to cult. All I'm thinking is like strange symbols and things. But any idea who might have done this?
Wait. While you're talking, did you mention Matilda's name, Grace, at all?
She did not say anything about any sort of evidence. No.
No. I mean, did she just say so that Irving heard the name Matilda
on the phone conversation?
Just in the phone. Did Grace herself say the name Matilda at some point?
Nope. That was all on the other end of the phone.
If you want to make a notice check to try and hear the name Matilda come up, you certainly can.
Yes, I do actually. But a 7.
That is not going to be good enough.
Yeah,
you need an 8 on this one for sure. You need a raise. Well, okay. You know what? No, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm breaking the Savage Worlds rules here.
No. Because I can understand. A notice would be Porter drinking coffee and hearing her talking. A raise would be Porter drinking coffee, hearing what's on the phone that she's listening to.
Right. I mean, you essentially heard things. Because there really, I guess technically there would have been probably a penalty to the roll. So
yeah, that's what I was saying.
One way or the other. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would have needed an 8. All right.
Okay,
so I'm not breaking the rules now.
No. Then Irving doesn't interrupt. He doesn't try to get Grace's attention for any specific reason.
Okay. All right. So now, Grace, now you can answer.
Now you have that in your head.
Now, what was I going to say?
He asked you
No, this would be best if I told Matilda that she heard it from a family member, and she didn't know that I had reached out for your services at all.
I don't have any. I mean, if you're looking for who did it, I don't have any solid information at this point. If you want me to stay on the job, I can keep looking and, keep working that angle to figure out who might have done this. But that's up to you.
I think right now, Miss Gunn, at least at this juncture, I think it might be best to wait. I mean, if the police certainly are going to launch their own investigation. I mean, if there's evidence that he was murdered, then certainly they're going to have to do something. And if I'm not satisfied with the results, I'll certainly seek you out. You've already proven to me that you know what you're doing and can. You found him faster than I think anybody else would have. So
that's mighty kind of you to say, but I will keep the phone free then, and if you need me, give me a call.
I appreciate that. I'll have someone come by and drop off a check tomorrow.
Thank you.
But thank you, Miss Gunn. I appreciate it.
I'd say I'm happy to be of service, but under the circumstances, I think you know what I'm trying to say.
I do. I understand. I understand.
Heck of a thing.
That it is. All right. Well, good night, Miss Gunn. Thank you.
Yes. Have as good a night as you can.
I will.
Here, click on the end, and make me another notice check, another hearing-based check. Oh,
That would be a 9 then?
he says goodnight, and you hear the telltale click of him hanging up his end of the conversation, and you're just about to put your end of the phone down, and there's another burst of static, and you hear a voice whisper,
Good night. Not pretty. Marked.
and then the line goes dead.
Throw the phone down into the cradle and just sit there for a minute.
Irving sips his coffee with raised eyebrows. Glad I didn't get on her bad side.
Doesn't sound like that phone call went well.
It's not the phone call. Just something. Oh. How would you guys feel if somebody called you and told you your brother was dead in a gruesome way? Now, come on. And if either one of you tells me that you don't have a brother to begin with, I'm going to smack you upside the head. It's a rhetorical question.
Bam Bam goes back to his pulpy, sips a little more air quote coffee.
Irving just turns his back.
A few more deep breaths.
So, are you still on the case?
Not at the moment. He wants the police to deal with it for now. So probably should call the police.
But we're still going to try to help this girl that's on the run from whatever.
Oh, yeah. Just because I'm not on the case doesn't mean I'm not going to be doing my job. Just means I don't have a paycheck for doing my job, but
Just checking.
you've known me long enough, Bam Bam. Come on.
So just to make sure, I don't know how these phones really work, but can they know who calls the cops? Do we need to find a payphone?
Oh, are you asking me? Or are you asking Grace? I'm sorry.
Yeah, would Bam Bam know that?
I think the only way I think that you might be able to know is, or that someone might be able to figure out, because it's still operator connection, so they do a little switchboard thing. So the person making the connection would have to, I think, detail that information. And in general, operators are probably too busy to remember those details, so you're probably safe. Either call in from here or call in from a payphone. Either one would be fine.
I'm going to flip a nickel over to Irving and tell him to go down to the corner and make the phone call from the payphone that's down there.
You try and catch it.
Let me roll a quick athletics here. Of course.
Or a dime. One. I mean, I guess he'd be more apt to catch a nickel.
Damn.
Oh, no, man.
Holy Hannah.
Irving catches it and rolls it across the back of his knuckles and then captures it between two fingers and says, "Gotcha." And he hobbles down to the payphone.
And the fact that she threw a nickel and not a dime.
What were?
Oh,
What was?
is it a dime to make a
Well,
call?
I
I
don't know.
thought
Let's
about
find
that.
out.
Would it need to be a dime? Because that would make the 15 even more impressive because the dime is smaller.
In 1952, Bell increased the payphone charges from nickel to a dime.
I'm thinking it is indeed a nickel.
So I'm going to guess it's a nickel right now.
All right, Irving, you do have a police contact, I believe, that you can call.
Oh, yeah. Let me pull up his name.
Was it Officer Glakowski?
Yeah, the one he was talking to in the alley distracting.
Yes.
Well, I was just distracting because I assumed I knew him because I've been around things. It's not actually an official contact or anything.
Yes. So Officer Glakowski, Marcel Glakowski, wow, is who your contact is there. Yeah, you did recognize him from the other time earlier. So you absolutely could call them or him.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just call up his desk phone.
The operator puts you through. Well, the switchboard operator puts you through to the police station, who then puts you through to Glakowski's phone.
Is he Glakowski with an I at the end or a Y?
It is an I. And here's me as the GM, not remembering exactly what his accent was like. So it rings several times. The phone picks up, and the voice in there, and
this is Glakowski. Let's make it quick. My shift's almost up.
Officer, this is Irving.
Irving, the photographer.
That's right.
What can I do for you, Mr. Holt? Again, if this is not something important, maybe it can wait until tomorrow. It's been kind of a long day.
It's pretty important. If you go to the Blackstone Hotel in the penthouse suite, there is a body there.
A body. And how do you know about this body?
Unfortunately, I happened across it in the course of my investigations.
Investigations into what, Mr. Holt?
Finding more pictures.
I see. All right, hold on. Body. Okay. Is it just the one body?
It's a pretty extravagant scene. I wouldn't suggest going alone.
Mr. Holt, did you tamper with the crime scene that was there?
Of course not. Okay, so do I need to make a roll to lie?
Yes, this is definitely going to be a persuasion roll. You're on fire tonight.
I absolutely did not tamper with anything in that crime scene.
Okay, this is good. This is good. I appreciate that because you have a reputation, Mr. Holt.
I came across it, and I turned around and I walked out. I have a reputation.
Mr. Holt, I don't know how many times do we have to go through this. You have come on to so many places where we have been, and you're taking your photos, and you put yourself into these places, and sometimes you have messed things up in the past. You know you have. Don't deny it.
I'm very careful.
Yes, of course. Look, all right. We may need to have you come down and make a statement. Do you know who this person was?
What? You know how long it takes me to get down to the station?
That's not is that a yes, then?
Do I know who this person was? No. I opened the door, there was blood, there was a body, I walked out.
All right. And how many pictures did you take, Mr. Holt?
Enough.
All right. Okay. The Blackstone penthouse body. Got it. Damn it. You know, my wife was making borscht tonight, and now I'm not going to get any of it now because I've got to go do this.
I figured the family would want to know.
Well, all right. Okay. The family, the victim. I see, okay. For a second, I thought maybe you knew who this was.
No.
All right. Thank you for the tip, and we'll be in touch, Mr. Holt.
Hang up the phone. This is what I get for being a nice guy.
And now, clever communiques of contrivance shall commence to continue your comportment of contentment.
It has been said that out of the most difficult of times come the greatest ideas. Necessity is the mother of invention, and your mother wants you to succeed. But do you find that you lack the capital to turn your capital dream into reality? Well, patented overland science is here to help. At Patented Overland Science, we get your sputtering project the juice it needs to start humming along the road to success and prosperity. We help put your idea into the hands of those who want it, those who need it, those who deserve it. Patented Overland Science's plan isn't just a natural fit for you, it's supernatural. It's time to listen to that voice in your head. It's time for your dream to become a reality. It's time for Patented Overland Science. We pave the way to your future.
Well, it looks like the tough part's over with, but our crew is coming up with more questions than answers in this case. But knowing these three, it's not going to stay that way. Alright, that's enough for now. So shake a leg till next time. But just so we're clear, the part of Grace Gunn was played by Jill Rich, Irving Holt is played by Brad Smith, Tommy Bam Bam Prue is played by Brent Rich, and the boss in charge of this clip joint is Chris Hussey. Special thanks to Alicia Niddle and Michael Waldschlager II for lending their golden chords to this episode. I'm E.I. Wick, and remember, taking a wooden nickel is less trouble than a ghost rock dime.
Hexaco Motor Oils thanks you once again for listening to the Hexaco Mystery Radio Hour, sponsored by Hexaco. This game references the Savage Worlds game system, available from Pinnacle Entertainment Group at peginc.com. It is unofficial media content permitted under the Media Network Content Agreement. This content is not managed, approved, or endorsed by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Certain portions of the materials used are the intellectual property of Pinnacle, and all rights are reserved. Savage Worlds, all related settings and unique characters, locations, logos, and trademarks are copyrights of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Thanks also to Fear the Boot. Support their Patreon at patreon.com/feartheboot. Bring a little light to our dark shadows by leaving a 5-star review on the podcatcher of your choice. When doing so, please search for Fear the Boot Actual Play. If you listen on YouTube, please like and comment. Of course, telling a friend is the best way to help the show. Not only is it the right thing to do, it's the Hexaco way. Hexaco reminds you to help keep your car running like magic and always use great Hexaco products. I'm Silver Sterling, and until next time, remember to keep one eye on the shadows.